Tupac Shakur would say a lot of things about how the world was all fucked up, but it made him look like a hypocrite when he was saying fuck the world at the same time. And so hypocrisy certainly applies to him. He condemned a lot of shit and did it just the same. Is this hypocrisy? It started with your name. They called you Makaveli, the strategist of war. Once you hit the fan, you couldn't take no more. Of course they say you're dead, but we both know the truth. You left it all behind. We know you just vamoosed. The only way to come back, you said, was Makaveli. We waited 18 years, by now it's worth some jeers. I take it either it was too much trouble to achieve this, or perhaps you're waiting for the second coming of Jesus. Which brings us to hypocrisy, the thought you wore a cross, and that you'd steal the thunder of the Lord and jack his spot. At least it's my perspective, of course you may be dead. If that's the case, tell proof that Eminem left him misled. You hated on the cops, but you enforced the game. So when it comes to regulation, you were much the same. You claimed the portrait of you hanging on the cross yourself wasn't with disrespect intended, yet I comprehended. You thought that you were God's son, mama was a virgin. You really should believe you're right, like Mary's other version. As much as this was blasphemy, the way you called your shot was worse, as that's a chump-ass way to have you hanging from the cross. Anybody from the church would tell you that his arms were horizontal, which makes you look like Ronald McDonald. Were you a hypocrite? Perhaps your ego trip was making you as pungent as the folks who made you sick. Were you a hypocrite by saying fuck the world and acting like it never gave a fuck about you, boo? Were you a hypocrite? Perhaps your ego trip was making you as pungent as the folks who made you sick. Were you a hypocrite by saying fuck the world and acting like it never gave a fuck about you, boo? You mentioned God was coming, she was taking your time. So if this God is like a goddess, you're really behind. Money over bitches, your infamous slogan. To think you love a goddess when the money was your focus. And I ain't raking on you for your feminine side. For God's sake, I'm a cancer, it keeps me alive. All I'm gonna say is the game in which you played made you look like estrogen was what fueled you on stage. You think you faked your death and didn't consider that you could die the same before re-entering the picture. It was pretty ignorant. While we're on the topic, it's possible they locked you in the gulag. What a drag. I guess there's complications when you're mocking the dead, which sounds as fucked as H to the Izzo bombing your head. We're back to hypocrites and your hypocrisy. You said God bless the dead, and yet this mockery is making it sound like you were truly a clown. I'm sure you had your reasons to be the last one breathing. The worst part of all things was the FCC, and after loyal to the game, they really doused your flames. The people in power must have noticed the impossible, that you were still at it, and frankly it wasn't ethical. They say the hurricane in Cuba rocked your fucking crib, and I ain't mad at you, Tupac.
I'm mad at what you did.